Hello, my name is Ratdoodle, and I am going to be making a character in Blender today. Now, I've already sketched this character out. I'm going to pull him on screen here. Okay, so you can see the boy. I'm just going to, here he is. Um, we've named him JP Riley. He's an investigator. You feel me? Um, I'm going to be turning this sketch into a 3D character in Blender, and it's going to be unedited, and I'm just going to go through the whole thing and kind of think out loud while I do it. So if that sounds interesting, stick around. All right, let's get into it. So I'm going to put this in the corner. Anything to note? I didn't draw the tail. You can see it's like not a very good drawing. It doesn't matter because we can use our mind's eye. Okay, we can use our third eye to see into the future of what we're going to create. Okay, we can visualize. So people have different levels of visualization, so this might work differently for everybody, but for me this drawing is enough. Okay, I don't need to do another one from side view or anything, or like front and side view, whatever. 3/4 view or whatever this is works for me. So I'm gonna put this guy up here so you can see the reference I'm working with. I'm gonna try not to cover too much of Blender so you can see what I'm doing here. Hopefully you'll be able to follow along if you want to, or pause and take as long as you want or whatever. This is still like pretty close to the default Blender scene. I don't think there's too much to say. The only thing I did was I made these visible, so you have your list of objects up here, and you have these options. So I made select, visible, viewport. If you click this, you can toggle what options you see on this list here. And these are the ones I always use. So it's select, visible. It's whether you can select it or not, visible, viewport, or render. And yeah, I'm just gonna get into it because I need to not stick on like literally every little thing. Not worried about that right now, but something I will probably do is make a I'll do a split since we're using the one monitor. So I'll make a new window and kind of I'll make the pull this menu out, make it so that we follow the camera, go to view, camera to view. We'll kind of move it around just so that it's okay and we can see it. Then I'll uncheck this so that I can move the camera and it won't move. But if you check it in this window, it'll be specific to this window. It won't be checked over here, which is wild. Okay. So how should we start this guy? So I have a couple things that I might cheat a little bit and bring in. Trying to think about how I want to do this. So I have boots from another file, but I think I will just make everything in this one just to show the process. I'm wrapping my mind around it. All right, let's just jump in here. We're gonna make it pretty low poly to start out with, probably. I don't know. I don't really know how to do these things. I just kind of go. Basically my style is a lot of making shapes and putting them together. As opposed to trying to make one mesh that really is thought out, you know. I just make a bunch of objects, put them together. That's what I do instead of using textures too. Which is really just because I have avoided getting used to UV unwrapping, but That's okay. Um, Textures aren't that hard. Okay. This is looking okay. I want it in the center still. So instead of pulling that side, I'll pull the whole thing over. That's pretty good. So to get to like the kind of the snout thing, we'll do something like that, maybe. It's not bad. Our camera's way off, but that's okay. Let's make the rest of the body, because I feel like not really gonna know. Maybe do that. It's always a balance. It's always a balance of making your mesh so that you can understand it. Because you don't want to. The problem with getting too many vertices in is you're not going to know what the fuck you're doing at a certain point. You're going to like be looking at a web of complicated mess. So my process really involves keeping it as low vertice count as possible, because then you know what's going on. You can look at it and see what affects what. I know that if I pull this one that way, it'll do that, right? It doesn't get it's not that simple when you start getting more complicated, when you start adding to the number of vertices in there. Oops, bruh. Okay, that's looking pretty good. If someone really didn't understand how to like visualize things, I would say to like literally make it out of make whatever you want to make in Blender out of like origami paper in real life, and that'll probably get your brain going a little bit on like how to visualize it a little bit, you know? Feel it in your hands. Never actually done that, but I want to at some point play with the freaking apps that can like scan 3D objects in real life and make them into 3D models. Always wanted to like sculpt something with clay and do that, but I haven't yet. Never tried it. This is looking pretty good here. This is like pretty okay. Trying to think about how I want to do the mouth. I don't really know how I'm going to approach that. Maybe I'll just do something crazy. So I'm going to duplicate this object just to keep a backup. So I'll do, yeah, that. And then, I'll, delete this. Yeah. So you got that like top half kind of thing, and then I'll make the bottom half of the mouth different. So I'll just, fill these in. Oops. Does that work? Yeah, that works. Actually, let's grab this entire part and make it a bit smaller. And then grab this part and make it smaller, maybe. That's pretty good. See, we're just kind of little by little etching out the shape that we want. We're figuring out the shape, and we're adding vertices when we need to, and only when we need to. Make this a little bigger, maybe. I know people like to bring in the picture and then like model to the picture, because you can kind of put like an image reference in here, but like, I don't know. I just think it's been always overwhelming to have another object in the file to deal with. Maybe that's just my neurodivergence. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this again. I'm going to rotate it on the x-axis, and then I'm going to move it down. That's another part of my process too, is reusing objects as much as possible, which I think is a cool thing about 3D. You can really do that. You can really go back and use something that you made years ago for like a tiny piece in like your most recent project or whatever. Like you need a house plant and you modeled a house plant 2 years ago, you can use it. You know, that's what's sick about this, is that this is a medium that is exponentially building on top of itself the more you do with it. That looks pretty good to me. I mean, I don't claim to be the best in the world at Blender or 3D modeling, but I think that a lot of people want to be able to do what I can do. And so that's why I'm making these videos. It's because I think this is like more achievable than a lot of people realize. It just takes a little bit of there's a learning curve for sure. That looks pretty funny. I like that. Maybe make this a little bit less drastic. Yeah, more like that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just leaving these other vertices here for now. I'll delete these. And then I'll probably just fill that in with a face for the heck of it. Even though it doesn't matter. See, this is what I mean, is like, this is a whole other object. I've abandoned the other mesh, which is like the head and like the top half of the mouth. And I've made a new object for the bottom part of the mouth. It's not like I'm trying to make that weird crease right here on the same mesh. That's not happening. That sounds like a nightmare. There's probably ways to do it. I don't want to learn that. Oh man. Okay. So his nostrils are gonna be like, I want him to have like nostrils, I think. He has like nostrils in the drawing. So we're gonna make this wider. Then we're gonna do some more ring cuts. Does that make it too rectangular? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. What happens if I subdivide this? Who will stop me? See, that's already looking pretty good. Okay, so move these forward. Yeah. I think I like that. Now we're talking. Okay, let me take this stuff. See, this is, we're getting that dopamine hit because we're looking at it and we're going, this kind of looks like a crocodile. This kind of looks like an alligator. Anybody know the difference? Let me know in the comments below. I don't. Just trying to get the width to feel better. It feels a little bit off right now. We're just diving in. Okay, this is scary shit. Sorry for swearing. This is scary stuff, okay? This is scary stuff. And the most important thing about this is that you just start. That's the daily battle I endure. Never wanting to open Blender again. And yet here I am in the trenches, battling my inner demons. Like an addict. Okay. Just make this a little bit more rounded and then we'll move on to a different part. The head is by far the most important, if you ask me. The rest doesn't really. the rest, man, barely matters. This is beautiful. Yeah, I think that length is okay. I was trying to decide if the length was too much, but I think I like it. Oh, I just realized you couldn't see this. Sorry, that's my bad. I'll go down here. I'll go down here. It's not like it's not like there's too much going on over there anyway. Let's pick a nice color. All right. I pick up the pace a little bit here. I'm still trying to decide. Something's weird about this. Something's off, but I don't know. I think it is okay. It's just a little bit different than the drawing. Maybe it was just that. But now that kind of looks weird. Let's do this. It's okay. You know what? You can tell it's an alligator, right? So we're going to make his coat. Making it exist is the important thing. Okay. Oh, wait. You know what? Yeah, let's make his body first. I was going to make his little collar to his trench coat that I have drawn on there, but I actually don't know what a trench coat looks like. And I think it was apparent from my drawing. Okay, so we're gonna do like obviously a simplified version, but something like this. So let me just yeah, I'm pressing the 1 and 3 to kind of double check all the time, like almost constantly. Um, okay. This is funny. It's kind of new territory. I don't know if I've ever like really modeled the code before. But that's my point, okay? Is that Blender is cool because at some point you 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 just with that's what I think is important to know is how to do things in a way where you can make what you can think of, right? It doesn't matter to know how to model an alligator. It matters how to model what you want to model. Curve. Circle? No. What do I want here? I want the collar around and the fold over and the well let's make the buttons first because that's a lot more straightforward. But there's that classic kind of trench coat fold over kind of collar situation that I want to get for sure. Make it bigger. Let's make this a little bit more involved than just a than just like a disc. There you got that like yeah. That's cute. Make it kind of metallic. To get kind of that weird like shiny button material. Yeah, that's good. Something like that. Oh, I don't like that though. Hold on. See, we grabbed some stuff we didn't mean to. That's all right. Fixing it. Easy as pie. Easy as pie. See, none of these individual things that I'm doing are hard. Nothing about what I'm doing is hard. Just takes doing the steps. I'm gonna make all these a bit smaller. So it can fit 3 on. Unless this should just be 4. Might be the move, but looking around. Okay, there we go. Ooh. Okay, I'm just lining it up. Who cares? If it's not the like I don't know, there's better ways to do this, but like there's better ways to do this, okay? I just can't be bothered, I guess. Okay, see, we already got most of the trench coat done. And look, we just copy the body. All right. We move it over. We change the size a little bit, and the arm is freaking done. It's that simple. For our purposes right now, yeah. Probably make this a bit smaller. So I'm gonna center this to the body. Then I'm gonna move everything forward so the arm lines up, and then I'm probably gonna apply everything. Yeah, okay. So this looks good. We can make the body kind of shorter or smaller or whatever it needs when we get there. I'm gonna move this up so we can address the legs. Now I like this fit, actually. I like this fit a lot. So we're gonna make black boots with a buckle like that, I think. Let's just make a hand really quick. Oops. While we're here. That works for now. Okay. Um, yeah. I'll leave that like that for now. I think there is improvements to be made there, but that's all right. We're doing the damn thing. Oh, we got to change both of these to Y. Anyone has any questions about anything I'm doing, please let me know. I am more than happy to elaborate on anything or go into any specifics about anything. This is kind of like a little bit more catered towards like beginners, but also I'm not really explaining what I'm doing. So please ask questions if you have them. I'm gonna do something weird. I'm gonna duplicate this and then hide it to have a backup. I'm gonna make this a bit smaller. I'm gonna apply this mirror and then I'm gonna drag these kind of in a little bit. Just a tiny bit. And then I'm gonna duplicate this and I'm gonna cut it in half. Okay, you see where we're going with this? Yeah. Does that even work? Is that how these jackets are? Does this even make sense? Okay. And this is kind of messy. This is kind of messy right now, but it'll be clean. Okay, it'll be clean. See this fold right here? That's what I was looking for. And I was looking for it to go like kind of right here before the buttons, but I think after the buttons makes more sense. So we're gonna leave it. So I'll move these back forward a little bit. That looks good. Low-key, I'm not even mad. That looks good. Okay. Hiding that a little bit so that the seam is on the side where the arm is, right? Kind of slay. Can't even tell. And you got that nice line there, right? It's simple. It's just shapes. It's like building blocks, you know? God, yeah, that really works well there, I think. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do with the see, like, I don't even know how else you would do that. It would just be like so annoying to get that to work. If you needed to show the bottom, there's a way to do that too, but I am not worried about it for this video, for this character. I'm not worried about that. I think even if you made a video game with this guy, this would be fine, you know? For a while. At some point you would want to polish it, but rambling. All right. So that's pretty good. We're leaving it. We're moving on to the collar. I don't want to think about the collar. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna make the eyes. Looks insane. Too far forward. This is always the thing too, is that like you're gonna make drawings of the character. I mean, if that's what you're doing, uh, but like when you get in the actual software, it is always going to be different. There's always going to be things that you change. So that is why I actually don't get too attached to the drawing, because I know that like the 3D version, there just will be things that are slightly different, and it's never a bad thing. Maybe lower, actually. Yeah, for sure. That was the issue. But this from the front, it looks kind of weird. Yeah, maybe that's too low. With eyes specifically, it's like you move it 1 pixel and it changes the whole situation. But this is going pretty much how I wanted. Let's flatten it a bit. Maybe. Ugh. Yeah, cool. It's very slow. Maybe like just move this entire thing this way. Yeah, that's looking a little bit less insane. That's what we'll go with for now, I guess. Well, I don't know. That's not bad actually, and it's because we're gonna put a hat on him. I don't mind him being a little flat. Flat is cute. Yeah, this is chill. Let me finish the eyes really quick. Okay. Sorry, I really I got lost in thought there. um, it's beautiful. Mouth does look kind of, you know. That's no good. Oh, you know what? I just need this for this way. I'm flipping the script on them. I don't know. Oh, that's what we'll rock with for now, man. Okay. Now, now. What are we doing next? Let's take this. Okay. Duplicate it. Turn it. Oh, I don't want to say we're done here, but like, damn. I like everything to actually be 3D, so I'm gonna extend this. But you could definitely leave that skinny as a choice. Oh fuck. I fucked up. Hold on, let me just undelete this. Yes. Damn, I'm trying to get this like right shape here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's cute. It's obviously not perfect. Oh, that's just his shadow. Okay. Um, yeah. It's kind of like right here. Like that. Is that a shadow? No, no, no. That's the. Oh, yeah. I guess I can just do this. Oh. Oh. Is it both of them? Now we're talking. Okay, now let me look at this jacket and see where the actual freaking I'm not I don't have good fashion sense enough to be doing this. But you know, we ball. Oh, dude. This one with the belt. That would go crazy. Or maybe this is kind of like a bad picture, but yeah, so it does go across, kind of covers the top half of that one. That's a lot more like, whoa. Yeah. Uh, Wait, but this is not how it works though. I need to look at it again. This is literally not how a jacket works. I'm messing with the ethereal plane too much a little bit on this one. Like, what am I doing right now? I'm losing my mind. Okay, yeah, let me look at this freaking jacket again. Was that it? Oh. It's because all of this needs to kind of like, yeah, yeah. I'm just finding that magic spot for everything. Trying to determine what's actually happening here to fuck this up. Sorry. Um, so I mean about too many vertices. Ooh, okay. Looking good. All right, so I'm gonna take these. I guess I'll subdivide. Then I'll subdivide these again. Holy shit, that looks bad. Okay, hold on. There's another way of doing this, and I can't believe I'm gonna do this, but I am gonna do this. So we're just gonna make a new mesh, and we're gonna rotate it like that, and we're gonna like make this smaller so that we have like a nice cutout, right? Just kind of putting it where that cutout would be, which there's probably a lot of fashion science to. Just gonna put it right there. Hope for the best. So we're gonna add the Boolean modifier. And it doesn't always work out too well, but this time it looks okay. Still not sure why it messed up the well, that worked. Cool. I'm gonna make it a little jumping out here. There are no rules, man. That's pretty good. Can't even really see it that well, but I think it needed to be there. The spirit of the project. So I'm gonna actually apply both of these and copy this and mirror y global, drag it over again. I'm gonna grab this part and kind of drag it back a little bit. Oh, yeah, like that. And then honestly, I'll just delete this shit. Sorry, I keep swearing. In my version of sculpting, you know, it shouldn't be. That's sus right there. That's beautiful. Some wild shit going on under there, but nobody can see that. And I'm just gonna make a curve Yeah, that's pretty much perfect right there. I'm gonna add geometry to it. Let's see. No, oh yeah, I wanted to change it to convert to mesh. That's right. Meshing it up. I'm gonna close the holes and then honestly should have. It's a different way of applying, but that's all right. We're gonna take this bottom part and we're gonna stretch it out. And this back. Uh, I have some chop suey in the fridge, and that's all I'm thinking about right now. Honestly, I could leave it like that if honestly, I could just leave it like that. That looks good actually. But no, that's not what I'm trying to make, so I feel obligated to fulfill my vision as I saw it. But I do think that that would be completely uh otherwise I would probably would do that. It looks fine. Hmm. Like yeah, this one needs to be stretched out. Oh yeah, it's gonna be different on both sides, I guess. I didn't think about that. Maybe this actually needs to be edited a little bit. What in the world? Yeah, side. Um, yeah, sure. About this specific section. Honestly, not too bad. That's good enough for me. Okay. I'm sending it like that. Now, this... So I will make a little thing for... Hmm. So his little gator chest hair can pop out. Feel me? I'm gonna make the arms a bit smaller because I think, yeah, that looks a little bit better. The trench coat should be a little long. Just changing things as we go. We're just looking at it from a bunch of different angles all the time. We're just doing our thing, you know? We're thriving. Demons can't hold us down, you know what I'm saying? We're free. We found inner peace. The haters can stay mad. I think I'm just gonna move these down. I don't think that looks too bad, no? I think that's cute. Okay. So we're gonna take these and we're gonna move them down. Basically my philosophy on 3D modeling is that there is no secret and you're just moving stuff around just like you would sculpt something with clay in real life, you know? It's just a process of going through it and finding the idea, finding the character, finding the plant. Or make the pants different color. Yellow. That might be a little bit much. But if I do copy the... That kind of goes. I'll do that for the boots, though. Maybe. I feel like we need some tertiary color for the legs. I'm gonna stick with... I'm gonna stick with that yellow for now, I think. Okay, let's make shoes. Shoes kind of piss me off a little bit. Not in real life, just in the digital realm. You know? But this is a pretty good shape to start out with. Basically, I started with the leg and just made it shorter. Made a couple adjustments. I can actually explain some of these adjustments. Um, Basically, this is further down to make it more round in the front, right? You're given that toe. That's the toe. And this side, we're basically going to do this with, right? So it creates that kind of, it already looks like a slipper. And this is just after a lot of trial and error of making this shape a bunch of times, which is why I say that I think it's a good way to start out learning Blender, just making shapes like this, because you know how to make the shape. If you know how to draw a circle, you can draw anything that is made with a circle, you know? This shoe shape can be used for a bunch of different stuff, you know, but I don't know what those things are yet. You figured it out on the process along the way. Maybe a little bit higher like that. Ooh. Yes. This is cool. I like this. This is such a good slipper shape. It goes hard. Okay, so something I will do is basically moving this up to make it more flat. Making another one, putting it in the same place almost to make it even more flat. Aligning the bottom one, turning off this, rounding it back out slightly. Actually, no, that's not even what I want to do. I want to, yeah. I do want to round it back out slightly, but I'm going to make it smaller. This is why shoes are annoying. Actually, yeah, maybe I'll make it different. Yeah. Maybe I'll make a different object for this. I'm trying to make the base of the shoes. So, let me delete this. The sole of the shoes, you know? Wouldn't normally do it like this, but whoa, whoops. I don't know what happened there. Okay, sorry. I'm doing a pretty bad job of thinking out loud while I do this, but whatever, man. Life is short. I'm just here. I'm trying to say hi, you know? What's good? Is that what we on? So this will be way easier to see when I make this black. Yeah, so there you got your kind of Mario style Koopa shoe type beat. But I do think, oh my god. Clean AF. Bros fitted. Let's try to make this a bit smaller. I'm gonna back around to hating it. The head looks so strange. Hold on, maybe if I just push it back slightly. It didn't help, I think. I think it's just that it gets weirdly wide. I'll roll with that. I don't know about the yellow pants. Maybe we just make it a brown. Or wait, like a yes. Something like that. Yeah, definitely darker, but I want, yeah, paler. It's good enough for now. I'll leave it. I think it's just gonna be more. It's just not gonna be work. Maybe this is the pang of yellow. Just a little splash. Or does that look too random? I think it looks too random. Actually, that's all right. I think it looks okay. Now we just have to make the hat. Oh. Mm. Uh. Okay. Uh. There we go. Now this screen over here kind of means something now. That we've got a more complete thing going on. Ooh. I actually didn't look up these hats. This type beat, dude. I'm in the final stretch, so I'm a little cooked. And the final stretch is here. Yes. Sorry, I'm in the zone. Okay. We're going to copy this one, maybe. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's gonna solve a crime. He's investing the ICE agent for arresting the immigrant. Okay, he's investigating the ICE agent so that he can bring this country to justice. Investigator hates ICE. All right, don't get it twisted. The little bow on top is insane. Like we used to have silly hats that people would for real just wear for their job because they had to. Now, now we have fascism. Okay. Uh duplicate, rotate, moving this to the back, man. That is so cute. We're applying this location and then we're going to mirror it on the y-axis. And I don't know how else you do this hat, man. I don't know how else you do it. I don't know what else you would do. Oh, whoops. I messed that up majorly, apparently. Yeah, these. The culprits, I believe. Culprits. Okay, I want to look up more of these hats though because I don't want to put the same texture in all of it, I don't think. Maybe some more like that. The tweet is good though. That's insane. Oh, oh, look at that. It's beautiful. Truly, truly beautiful. Ooh! Ugh. Okay. Okay, I was just setting up the textures, so we're gonna have to make a new window here. It's gonna look messy for a second. Um, move this guy really quick. We're gonna go to. I should probably save. Okay, so we're gonna make this a UV editor, and we're going to. We're gonna go to the materials of this object, and we're gonna add material, new, this yellow thing, image texture, open, go. Whoops. Here. Yo, that turned out pretty good first try. And we're gonna fix these. I don't know what is going on with it. I don't know why it's like this. I don't know what I did here. But you don't need to. Beautiful. I just want to add the bow really quick. Well, no, I'll just. I already have the texture. Might as well. What if we play around with making like this the tan? That actually doesn't look too bad. Maybe just the tweed. Maybe it's just we're tweeding out. Feel me? This is lovely. I feel like the arms to legs combo right now is a little bit off. So I'm going to not even make it smaller, but maybe just make it shorter. That's closer to what I want, I think, but maybe a bit too much. And you can always just make the entire body shorter too, which I probably will do at some point. Still looks a little weird. That's okay. I'm vibing with that. Maybe I don't know. I can't tell what's wrong with it. Yeah, it actually was pretty close to where it was supposed to be, but this is supposed to be chibi, and that's why it looks off, I think, because the body's just too big in general. But let's apply everything. Let's see if anything messes up. It looks like we're good. Um, just make it shorter and smaller, and then move it back up. Yeah, see, that just looks better, I think. Oh, the heli? What the heli? Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to stop messing with the arms. I'm going to hit apply on the mirror. And I'm going to hit apply on the mirror here because I want one of the arms to be holding a pipe. Yes, yes. Just kind of feeling it out will make you think that you don't have to do these things, but you just do. You just have to feel it out, man. Art is art, okay? Sometimes you really just gotta bang your head against the wall for a little bit. Okay, now time for the pipe. Win the tail. Tail. Hate that. I don't like that that happens. That's so annoying. Um, I could work more on that, but I'm not going to. I'm just deciding that I'm not going to do that. I'm going to copy the bottom part of the mouth because it looks the closest to what I'll need for the tail. Never mind. Never mind, never mind. Actually, like a closer thing is the top of the hat. Making it short and stout's kind of funny. It goes along with the chibi theme. Really don't think anyone would give a shit that it's like that. Sorry for swearing. Yes. Yes. Hmm. I'm giving up on that. We're gonna go with a curve because it's already kind of the same, the right shape almost, in a way. Just want to kind of get it to where it needs to be. I'm not aiming for something perfect, but something that exists. Holy moly, my ears ringing. I'm lost in thought again. Sorry, it's a meditative process, you know, kind of just figuring this shit out. Sorry for swearing. Um, and maybe it is good enough, but I don't know. It's not the prettiest pipe, but this is pretty like this is tangential to what the point of this video is. So I'm kind of leaving it just how it is, but I will do this here. Um, I'll have one final touch to this situation going on. Yeah, ooh, that really made it right there. That felt good. Let me tell you, got a pipe. Woo! Let's go, baby. Okay, it's a little bit low poly. Oh, dude, a rare time when you hit the subdivide button and it works out perfectly. Okay, I'm gonna make 2 circles. This is literally the last thing. I'm making it that material. And then I'm gonna make it smaller and put it right here. We're putting the other one on the other one. And then we're chilling. Okay, so like, yeah, obviously the little circle on the end of the pipe is not important, right? But when you look at a pipe, you know that that's there. You know for sure the pipe bussy, sorry, is there, right? So when you look at it in in conjunction with everything else going on, it just feels so good to look at, you know? We'll make this, yeah, like that. Okay, that works for me. So I am going to call that good. Uh Wait, so convert to mesh and then convert to mesh. And then we're just gonna combine all these. I'll apply this and then combine all of these. And I only did that so I could kind of squish this a bit. Is it possible for him to smoke this pipe with how his mouth is? Barely. Barely, I say unto you. I guess we gotta turn his arm a little bit more. I'll do another video where I go more into like rigging and stuff because I would just move the bone, but we're not doing all that right now. So it's not hard. It's really not hard, and I am gonna make I'm gonna make videos about it. Because I think it is very simple, and yeah, I think I'll be able to provide some helpful insight there. Okay, this is pretty good. If I was really committing to this, I'd probably make a magnifying glass, but I probably won't. Okay, fine. Um, oh, I wanted to make the bow on top of the head, man. I'll do it with a curve. Uh, uh. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, cool. Actually, no, I'm gonna make a, It's looking really nice. I really like how this turned out. I know it's pretty simple, but like, this is what I want. This is what I want to make, you know? I think there's like, obviously, you know, you can do whatever you want. Um, but I think that this approach is a very versatile way of doing things where you just make a bunch of shapes. You don't worry about making it all one mesh. Make it a million meshes and then combine it later, or like edit it later, make it nicer later. Even if I was doing something for like something more detailed, I probably would start with something like this, just to flesh out where everything's going. Trying to add something to the tail because it looked a little bare, but that is enough for sure. Right, I wanted to finish the bow, so I'm just gonna add 2 circles. Actually make the depth a little bit more since it's gonna be smaller. Actually, wait, no, I'll just make 1 and then copy it. Always reuse as much as possible. If there's anything you guys want to see, let me know. I don't know, I'm just kind of putting these out there to get this out there, and then I'll go into more specific stuff later, you know. But this is a good excuse to get some character design in there, make some peeps. That is so cute. I think I would do this a little bit differently probably, but I'm chilling for now. I'm not worried about it. I just kind of wanted to show how quickly you can do something pretty substantial, you know? It doesn't have to be this whole complicated thing. You don't have to know what you're doing really. You can just do stuff. So this is lit AF. Again, lots more detail if I wanted to. Like, there's a lot of room to improve here, but I'm not looking to improve. I'm looking for. That's not true. I'm just looking to be consistent, you know? That's the goal, right? Is to be opening Blender and making something. That should always be your goal. If you're trying to get into 3D modeling, highly recommend just opening it up and making something, and finding something that you can do that's a daily practice. Have like your goals, be working on your game, be working on your whatever else you want to do, your movie, but just I highly recommend finding something other than your passion project so that you can just do something daily like this, you know, or close to it, or weekly or whatever. Okay. Cam, we're gonna put the. Yeah, it's always hard finding a good position for these, but this looks right. Or wait, what's the drawings like this? Maybe I could cheese it a little bit. That's the other thing, is like what looks good in 3D is rarely gonna be what looks good in 2D. That's kind of a frustrating thing about this medium, to be honest. All right, that looks pretty good though. I'll render this out for the vid. And then I'll post like something else somewhere. I don't know. It is so cute. So I'll just hit save. I'm gonna hit render, see what happens. Not looking at anything. So yeah, there's a lot of hidden objects that I need to delete. So let me look through that really quick. Just looking for anything with the eye closed, and I'm just gonna delete all of it because we're not using it. With some projects, I do make backups that have all of those in there and then make a new file where all of it's deleted, but definitely won't be going back to any of those on this one. Make the hat less shiny. I don't really care too much about materials, but should be more or less at least a little accurate. This is so sick. The nostrils look kind of empty. I was seeing if there was a way to... Oh, you know what? There's a super simple way I could do that. Oops. Really quick, I'm just going to make a cylinder. Move it up here. And we can't have it too much because that would just be weird. And that probably is too much. Yeah, so instead of trying to make it with actually moving around the vertices, I'm going to use the Boolean modifier again. I use it all the time. But we're going to use the mirror Y and then Boolean. We're going to target the head, and we're going to hide these. We're going to make sure that these are hidden from the render as well. Now, that didn't work. So, oh shit, I had to do it the other way around. Sorry, I forgot. Sorry for swearing. Boolean. There we go. You pick the cutout. And if you want this to be a little cleaner, you can do subdivision before and after, like again. It can be kind of render heavy, unfortunately, but okay. It's okay for me, but like usually it's not too bad. They're a little crazy, but I don't know, maybe I'll just make the whole thing a little bit smaller. Anytime you have Boolean, it will be really laggy if you ever have animations or anything moving in your scene. So that is something to consider. You'll just have to apply it if you're doing anything. This is a W, dude. Huge W today. Oh, see, look at this. It looks weird. Because I forgot to do the thing that I just said to do. Hide the Boolean. Hide the cutout. See, it looks a little weird with his like nostrils like that. Um, I don't know if there's too much I can do about that. There's cleaner ways of doing this entirely, but it's cool. I think I'm just not gonna worry about it for right now. Move everything down. Probably didn't need to do that, but it was pissing me off. Now it feels like everything's right in the world. Oh shit. I moved the cutout too. And to avoid that, you can parent it to whatever. So you can parent this object to this one. Oops. Keep transform, and then you won't have to worry about that again. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done. Maybe, oh, the pants can be the tweed. Yo. That is it. That goes hard. Okay. Super happy about this. Let me add, make some more lights. This down. Yeah, cool. That's pretty good. There you have it. Our boy. Our freaking boy. Okay? There's literally one thing I'm gonna do. Okay, this is I'm upping the subdivision because it looks a little choppy on the eyes, and the eyes are important, but everything else I don't care if it's choppy. The beauty of simplicity, baby. Okay, this is gonna take a little bit to render just because the head is a little bit high res. Subdivided quite a bit. But I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like JP Riley investigations. Or I can go into render here, kind of spin them around a little bit. Pipe. Yeah, I hope you guys like them. I hope you guys liked the video. Subscribe if you care. That would do a lot to support me. Yeah, I'm excited to do more of these. Peace. I hope you have a great day.